How are houses financed in China? Have you ever wondered how people in China finance their homes? The process is quite different from what you might expect in other countries. In China, housing finance is shaped by the country's unique communist policies and economic systems. Let's break it down step by step. First, the government plays a major role in regulating the housing market. This means they set rules to control prices, manage supply, and ensure that housing remains affordable for the population. State-owned banks are the primary institutions providing mortgages and loans for home purchases. These banks operate under strict government guidelines, ensuring that their lending practices align with national economic goals. Mortgages are the main way people finance their homes. State-owned banks offer both fixed-rate and variable-rate loans. The terms of these mortgages can change based on government policies aimed at stabilizing the housing market. For instance, the government may adjust interest rates or modify down payment requirements to help buyers. Another important aspect of housing finance in China is the Housing Accumulation Fund. This fund was introduced in the early 1990s and allows employees to save a portion of their income specifically for housing. Employers also contribute to this fund, making it easier for workers to afford down payments or cover other housing expenses. The government has also put regulations in place to oversee property developers. One such policy is known as the 3 red lines, which limits the amount of debt developers can take on. This helps prevent excessive borrowing and keeps the housing market stable. Additionally, China maintains strict capital controls. These controls limit the flow of money into and out of the country, which helps the government manage the housing market and avoid speculative bubbles that can lead to economic instability. To make housing more affordable, the government often implements measures like subsidies for low-income families. They also restrict speculative buying to ensure that housing remains accessible to everyone. The state is heavily involved in developing housing projects, often collaborating with state-owned enterprises to build affordable housing units. From a communist viewpoint, the goal is to ensure that housing serves the broader social and economic objectives of the state. This means focusing on collective well-being rather than individual profit. While this approach aims to make housing accessible for all, it can sometimes limit individual choices in the housing market. So, financing a house in China involves a mix of government regulations, state-owned banks, and specific financial tools designed to support home buyers. Understanding these elements gives us a clearer picture of how housing works in a country shaped by communist principles.